Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In our last video, we learned what are tuples, how we can create and perform operations using tuples. We understood what is mutable and immutable. Today, we are moving on to something even more exciting, sets in Python. Sets are super powerful data type that help you work with unique elements and perform cool operations like unions, intersections, and more. Trust me, once you understand sets, you will see how handy they can be in solving real world problems efficiently. I highly recommend watching this on a bigger screen and coding along with me. That's the best way to learn. If you get stuck anywhere, feel free to drop your questions in the comments below or email me at saket.saketlabs@gmail.com. I'd love to help. And before we jump in, if you're enjoying this Python series, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of the future lessons. It really helps the channel to grow and keep me motivated to create awesome tutorials for you. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's start with sets. Just like lists and tuples, sets are also used to store multiple items in a single variable. So to define a set, empty set, we use a method set. Let's try that out in an interactive terminal. So here I am initializing empty set variable with a empty set. Now if I try to print this variable, you can see it is a empty set. And if I try to print the type of empty set, you can see it belongs to type set. So now if you want to initialize a set with few items in it, we can do it this way. To define a set without calling any method, we use curly braces. To define an empty set, we use set method, but to define a set with few variables in it, we use curly braces. So I'm going to add apple, banana and pineapple into the set. And if I now try to print the set fruits, you can see the set has banana, pineapple and apple. You can notice here one thing, that the order of the set got changed. Here we initialized with apple, banana and pineapple, whereas when we try to print the variable fruits which contained set, it returned banana, pineapple and apple. So we can conclude that sets doesn't store the order. So sets are unordered. So now let me try to define one more set. The another set I'm going to define is numbers. I'm going to add 10, 20, 20 again and 30. And now if I try to print numbers, you can see that there in the initialization we had 2 of 20s, whereas when we try to print the numbers, we have only single 20. Which means if we add duplicate elements into a set, it will remove the duplicate elements. So to understand this better, let us try to work out an example with this. So before that, I want you guys to know how we can convert list to a set. Here, to typecast list to a set, we use set method and pass the list into it. For example, let me define a list with values 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. And if I try to print the list, you can see 1, 2, 2, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4 is there. So now if I want to convert this list into set, I just have to pass it into set method. As you can see, the list got converted into set here. If you see, the list has square braces here whereas set has flower braces here. So this is how you convert set to a list to a set. And if you want to convert set to a list, we pass it inside list method. For example, we have set named fruits. If we pass that fruits into this list method, you can see the set has now become list. This is how you convert list to a set and vice versa. So now let us try to understand this with an example. So here there is a list with ticket numbers 101, 102, 101, 103, 102, 104. We want to return only unique tickets. So what we do here is we pass the tickets list into a set variable. As we know, set only returns unique values. It will return only unique tickets. Let us try to run this. As you can see, tickets had two 101s, whereas the returned set has only one 101. Alright. Moving ahead, now let us look at the manipulation. What are the methods that a set supports for manipulation of a set? So as you can see here, we are able to add elements into set, update the existing elements, update multiple elements into set, remove elements from the set. We are able to modify the set, which means sets are mutable. We were also able to modify lists, but we couldn't modify tuples, which means lists and sets are mutable, but tuples are immutable. Now let us try to define a set A with numbers 1, 2 and 3 in it. So I'll print A. As you can see, now the variable A as 1, 2 and 3. Now if I have to add an element into this set, what I can do is I can invoke add method on the set. As you can see, I'm using a.add, where A is a set. I'm invoking add method on set on the variable A. So if I invoke add method on the set and pass an element that needs to be added, now if I try to print variable A, you can see the set A has 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Previously it had only 1, 2 and 3, whereas after adding 4 to it, if we try to print the variable A, it has 1, 2, 3 and 4. Similarly, if we have to update multiple elements into a set, we use update method. For example, if I want to add 5 and 6 into set A, what I can do is a.update, and I'm passing a list into it, list of the elements that I would need to add. I need to add 5 and 6 into it. So if I do that and try to print variable A, here you can see 5 and 6 got added into the set A. Similarly, if I want to remove any element from a set, I need to invoke dot remove method on set. Let's say I want to remove 6 from the set A. Here A is a set and we are invoking dot remove method on the set A, and we are trying to remove 6 from it. So if I execute this and try to print the variable A, here you can see we no longer have 6 in our set. Just like that, now if I try to do a.remove 10, as you can see we don't have the element 10 inside our set. Now if I try to remove 10, you can see there is an error that has been printed saying there is no 10 inside the set A. If we don't want to get this error, we can use a method discard. Now if I try to invoke discard method on a set A, as you can see, no error has been given. Meaning, if the element is there in a set, it removes. It doesn't, if the set doesn't have that element, it just simply ignores. Now I'll try to print A. We see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 is there. I'll try to remove 5 from it using discard method. And now I'll print A. As you can see, 5 got removed from the list. Here we have to notice that if there is no element, if the element is not there in the list, it just simply ignores it. It doesn't throw any error. Whereas if the element is there in the set, it removes the element. So similarly, there is a method called pop. So if I do a.pop, it returned 1. And now if I try to print A, there is no 1 in the set. So what this pop method does is, it returns any element from a list and removes it from the, it removes any element from the set and it returns that element. As you can see here, when I did a.pop, it returned 1, and now if I try to print A, 1 is removed from the set. So the next method that we are going to look at is clear. So if I want to clear all the elements out of the set, I invoke .clear method on the set. Now if I try to print the set A, you can see now it is a empty set. Now let's try to understand mathematical operations of sets. So I'm going to be writing some Venn diagrams to make the concept much clearer. So the first concept is union. So as you know, if we try to add a Venn diagram, let me just so to define union, what we can do is assume this is A and this is B. If we perform the union operation, then both A and B will be written. This whole shaded part will be written. Meaning all the elements from the set A as well as all the elements from the set B will be written, including the ones that are in common. So this is about the union operation. Let us try to run it in our interactive terminal and understand this. So as you can see, I have two sets A and B. Let me just copy and paste it here. So I have set A and set B. If I perform union, so union operation can be performed using in two ways. One is using union operator, which is a single pipe symbol, and union method on a set. So let me first try to do using pipe operator. A pipe B gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 in set A and 3, 4, 5, 6 in set B. Both the set have 3 and 4 as common. If we do union operator, what it will do, it will try to merge both the set A and set B and returns a set. Since the set can only have unique elements, we can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 has been written. The another method which we can use to perform union operation is union method. If we invoke union method on set A and pass set B as a parameter, you can see the same output that we received in the previous method has been written. So let us try to understand this better using an example. So here you can see Asia Pacific has 3 countries: Japan, India and Australia. Europe has France, Germany and Italy. If we perform union operation on Asia Pacific as well as Europe, we'll get all the countries from Asia Pacific as well as Europe. Let me try to run this. As you can see, we got India, Japan and Australia from Asia Pacific, and France, Germany and Italy from Europe. As you can see, as we know that the sets are unordered, we can see the order has been changed in the returned set. So next comes intersection. So to define intersection, what we can do is assume we have A and B. This common part between A and B is called intersection. So what it does when we try to do the intersection, what it basically returns is the common between both the sets. So here ampersand is known as the intersection operator, and we can also use intersection method on any set to find the common between two elements. Let me try to run it in an interactive terminal. So we know that A has 1, 2, 3 and 4, B has 3, 4, 5 and 6. So the common elements between A and B are 3 and 4. So when we try to perform intersection, you can see only 3 and 4 are returned. So let me try to use intersection method. A intersection of B. Here also this returned 3 and 4 as well. This is about the intersection. Let us try to understand this method by solving this example. So what we are trying to do here is we are trying to find students who have registered for both math as well as science. As you can see, I am using intersection operator to find out students who have registered for both the subjects here. So let me try to run this. You can see Bob and Diana have registered for both the subjects. As you can see from here, math has Bob and Diana, as well as science also has Bob and Diana. Let's move on to difference. So what difference does is it will try to remove the elements that first operand has which are in B. For example, let me write an example for that. So assume set A to be having elements 1, 2, 3 and 4, and B to be having, just a sec, B to be having 3, 4 and 5. So what A minus B does is it will try to remove the elements from A which are in B. For example, we have 3 here and also 3 here, so this gets removed, as well as 4 here and 4 here, even the 4 gets removed. We have 5 here but there is no 5, so nothing happens. So when we do A minus B, we get 1 and 2. If we similarly do B minus A, so we have 1, 2 here which is not in B. Let me try to remove everything before that. So if we try to do B minus A, so we know there is 1 in set A which is not in set B. There is 2 in set A which is not in set B. There is 3 in set A which is also in set B. So this gets removed. There is 4 in set A which is also in set B. So hence 4 also gets removed. And the only element that is remaining is 5. So this returns 5. So this is how the difference operator works with sets. Let us try to execute that same in interactive terminal. We have two sets which we have defined previously, 1 2 3 4 and set B 3 4 5 6. If I try to do A minus B, you can see we got 1 and 2, just like how we discussed in the example before. If we try to do B minus A, we got 5 and 6. So when we do A minus B here, as you can see 3 and 4 is in B, 3 and 4 is in A as well, so this gets removed. Whereas B had 5 and 6 which are not in A, so nothing happens. Only 1 and 2 are not in B, so 1 and 2 got returned. Similarly, if we do B minus A, B had 3 4 5 and 6 and A had 1 2 3 and 4. A had 3 and 4 which are in B as well, so this 3 and 4 gets removed and 5 and 6 gets returned. This is how the difference works. We also have a difference method which we can use to find the difference between the sets. If I do A difference B, we get the same result as A minus B. And if we do B difference A, we get B minus A. So the next thing is symmetric difference. So the next concept is symmetric difference. We use this operator for symmetric differences. So this caret symbol means symmetric difference. Let me explain you with an example how the caret symbol works. When you use symmetric difference, only the red portion here, only the red portion gets returned. This red portion only gets returned, not the orange portion. For example, let us try to assume there is a set A which has elements 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the set B which has 4, 5 and 6. When we use this caret operator, symmetric difference, what happens is this returns 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6. So as 4 is common in both the sets, 4 will not be returned. So this is how the symmetric difference works. So let us try to understand that with an example. So here we have company X and company Y. These are the people. Alice, Bob and Charlie has offers from company X. Charlie, David and Eve has offers from Y. We want to know people who has offers in only X or Y. So we use symmetric difference to find that. So here, if we apply symmetric difference property, we are going to get Alice, Bob, David and Eve. As Charlie has offers in both company Y and X, Charlie will not be returned. Let us try to run that. As you can see here, we got Alice, Bob, Eve and David. So one last concept is frozen set. So as we know, sets are mutable, meaning sets we will be able to perform manipulations on sets. If we want to create a set which are not mutable, we use frozen set. For example, if I try to define a frozen set fs, so frozen sets are initialized using a method frozen set. Frozen set. So we pass list into the frozen set method consisting of 1, 2, 3, and now if I try to print fs, it is frozen set. If I try to get the type of fs, you can see it is not set, it is a frozen set. Now if I try to add a element into the frozen set, you can see we get an error saying frozen set doesn't have an attribute add. We can still be able to use the membership operators like in, not in, etc. So as we know, we have a frozen set with elements 1, 2 and 3. If I want to check if I have 1 in frozen set, as we have 1 in the frozen set, it returns true. We don't have 10 in the frozen set. If I do this, it says false. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the hands-on learning experience. I recommend watching the video multiple times for the concepts to settle in. If you're watching this on your phone, I highly recommend switching to a laptop and coding along. It will make your learning much more effective. In this session, we learned about Python sets, which helps us to manage unique data, remove duplicates, and perform powerful operations like union, intersection, and difference with ease. All the code from this video has been pushed to GitHub, and you can find the repository link in the description below. So feel free to check it out and practice on your own. In the next video, we'll dive into Python dictionaries, how to store data as key value pairs, and access information efficiently. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification, and leave a like if you have found this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.